What I would like us to focus the most, which is a new, is the last page of the report, which looks at the observations that were made by the committee. So what we did with my counterpart, Ms. Keke from the NCOP, the Select Committee, we looked through our notes and what we've captured from the discussions and formulated the overall observations of the committee. I don't know if members have the report in front of them. Oh, I see. Mrs. Lindy is flighting it. Okay. Mrs. Lindy, if we can go to where it says Committee of Observations. So I'm looking at my own document here, not on the screen, on the camera. I'm looking at my own page on the side, members. Okay, I'm just going to read the first one. It says 7.1, budget-related observations. Just write an S here. The Joint Committee noted with concern that the National Treasury did not allocate additional funds for critical social welfare programs, such as Early Childhood Development Program, Family Preservation Programs, and Psychosocial Support, or GBVF programs, and anti-substance abuse programs. Most concerning was the fact that funds had to be shifted from the budget initially allocated for ECD infrastructure upgrades to purchase COVID-19 essential supplies for ECD centers. Budget cuts were also effected to funds originally allocated to implement the universal treatment curriculum and substance abuse forums. On this last sentence, members, just realized after going through the responses from the department that in their responses they said there were no funds that were cut from the substance abuse programs. So with members, my suggestion is that I will have to delete that line because they corrected that there were no funds, but the members can advise on this one.
Can you repeat that, Yoli?
Okay. The last sentence, Chairperson, it reads as budget cuts were also effected to funds originally allocated to implement the universal treatment curriculum and substance abuse forums. So that last sentence about the universal treatment curriculum and substance abuse forums. I was going through the responses again yesterday just to check if I captured everything. That question that was raised on the budget cuts on this program, the department responded that there were no cuts that were made on this program.
Okay.
Yes, Chair. So I want to believe that members also went through those responses, and if they are satisfied or they are fine with me removing this line from here.
No, if it's a fact, it will have to be removed. Okay. Unless there's a contrary fact, but proceed.
Okay. Can I proceed? Can I remove? Okay, I'm gonna
members are going to comment. Proceed.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. The next one. The Joint Committee also noted with concern that SASSA did not receive additional budget for administrative costs, even though it had to implement additional payments to social grants and develop new information technology platforms to implement the SRD grant. There is also a shortfall in the budget that was allocated for SRD payments because of the high demand for the grant. The next one, Chair, the Joint Committee further noted that there is a need for the national and provincial departments to account to Parliament on their expenditure on the funds allocated for GBF programs. That's the first part, that is the observation in relation to the budget, Chairperson. Then the second part mainly focuses on the performance-related observations. The Joint Committee reiterated its concern over the challenges that continue to be experienced in the processing of the SRD grant applications. These include the high backlog of applications, delays in responses to applications and payments to those approved, high number of declined applications, confusion created by SASSA's responses to applicants, and overcrowding at SASSA offices. A lot of people, especially in the rural areas, do not have electronic devices to apply for the grant. They rely on an in-person applications at SASSA offices, which run at a limited staff complement. The next one is the Joint Committee noted with concern that the department's annual performance plan did not include targets on the employment of additional 1,809 social workers. The committees also noted with concern that the target to train and capacitate 500 social workers was revised to 180 social workers when there is a high need of social work services. It wanted to know what plan the department has put in place to ensure that all social workers are capacitated. The committees were further concerned over the department's vacancies at critical posts when government is preparing for budget adjustments in October 2020 through the medium-term budget policy statement. Should I proceed to recommendations, or members want to make some input on the observations, Chair?
Chairperson, please unmute.
I will ask. I want you to proceed, Yoli. I will ask the members to make input across the board.
Okay. All right, Chair, thank you. Okay, point number 8, or should I say paragraph number 8, recommendations. Having considered the revised annual performance plans and budgets of the department and its entities, the committees made the following recommendations. With regard to SRD grant backlogs, the minister should ensure that SASSA clears the backlog of outstanding COVID-19 SRD payments. The minister should ensure that the department, in collaboration with SASSA, urgently initiate a process of engaging with National Treasury and the Presidency with regard to additional funding to cover the shortfall. On post-lockdown, the minister should ensure that the department develops concrete strategies on how it will continue to assist people after the interim 3 months assistance has lapsed, especially in rural areas. With regard to human resources, the minister should ensure that the department finds mechanisms of retaining the temporary hired social workers and recruiting more social workers. With regard to the scourge of violence, the minister should ensure that the department in its annual performance and strategic plans clearly set out GBVF and violence and murder of children. The department should engage with the Presidency and the National Treasury on how more funding can be allocated to address GBF and violence and murder of children, substance abuse and family preservation programs. With regard to ECD support, the minister should ensure that the department provides the necessary support to ECD centers to ensure that they comply to the COVID-19 safety regulations. With regard to governance and accountability, the minister should ensure that there is strengthened governance within the department and with its entities. In regard to monitoring of funds, the minister should ensure that the department establishes a system to monitor the use of funds that have been allocated for programs related to poverty alleviation, homelessness, drug abuse, and violence related to women and children. Oh, that was the last one, Chair.
Thank you very much, Yoli. Honorable members, there is the report before us. Do I have the list of honorable members who want to speak, Lindy?
Yes, Chairperson. I do have a list. Firstly, let me just record an apology for Honorable Masango, who will join the meeting later. The members who indicated to ask to make some input in the draft report. Number one is Member Van der Merwe, followed by Member Abrahams, and then Member Aris, and Member Stock is also Member Stock is number 4.
Honorable members, any other?
And after Chairperson Sukers want to make an input as number 6. That's fine.
Members,
thank you.
I hope members are not going to be irritated in the process. Honorable Van der Merwe?
Thank you very much.
You know the standard. Yeah? At least 5 minutes is okay today.
Okay. Okay, I'll try. I'm going to be quick. But first and foremost, Chairperson, we want to welcome you back, and we're happy to see that you're looking so well and strong. But then again, you're a Comrades runner, so we didn't expect you to be sick for too long. So,
okay.
You know, I wanted to say thank you very much to the team for the comprehensive report. Chairperson, I just wanted to make a couple of inputs. I think in the last meeting and in previous meetings, I think on the first point, when we speak about the clear backlog of the SRD grant, I also want to put emphasis on the department needing to enhance their follow-up review mechanism. And I want to put this on the table, Chairperson, because as I speak, I've been trying to speak to SASSA for many, many weeks. For example, one person was rejected saying his details doesn't match Home Affairs details. There's no way of him following up or even being able to get an answer back or being able to sort this problem. Another person, for example, a young man came out of prison. He applied for the grant. He was told that he had a job in the last 18 months while he was in prison. He's also not able to follow up or rectify that. And there are many issues and people, so I think it's not only to clear the backlog, but they need to strengthen the follow-up and review mechanisms. We've been extensively speaking about the issue of food parcels versus food vouchers. And I think we need to make a point that our committee has recommended on numerous occasions that we want the department to move away from the laborious process of having to distribute food parcels countrywide to the food voucher system. And it's something we've been discussing with them because in the light of food parcel theft, in the light of the fact that the department spends 1,200 Rand on a food parcel, but only 700 Rand of that goes to the actual food content. I think we need to make a point that we want to see a speedy move, maybe past COVID, but from food parcels to food vouchers. I think another issue that the committee has been raising consistently, and that is that we want the department to come back to us with a detailed plan on the absorption of social workers. And I'm saying this in the light of the fact that the minister's been telling us that she has been negotiating with other departments to see if they're willing to absorb social workers. We've heard about discussions with Treasury. We've heard President Ramaphosa saying that he wants all social workers sitting at home to be employed. So we need the department to come with a detailed plan in terms of how we will be going about absorbing all social workers that have been trained by the state. And lastly, Chairperson, I think the time has come for this department as well to come back to the department, to come back to us. We do have a point there on gender-based violence, but I really do feel that as the lead department in the fight against gender-based violence with the Department of Women in the Presidency, this department lacks a detailed focus in the fight against gender-based violence. And the fact of the matter is that the emergency plan that was announced by the President, as well as the National Strategic Plan, which has been adopted or tabled, gives specific tasks to the Department of Social Development. And we want them to extract that. And apart from the points that we've put there, but we also want them to come at one point, maybe after COVID, after this budgetary process, but we want a detailed plan on their fight against gender-based violence in and the spending as well. Because, for example, by now they should have actually paid over 50 million to NGOs, and I don't think that has happened. So we need to just say that we want a detailed plan. Those are some of my suggestions, Chairperson, and that's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Abraham.
Thank you, Chairperson. Just to jump back to the substance abuse suggestion. So if the department, and considering deleting that line from the report, if the department hasn't adjusted the budget and the funds for substance abuse, then they need to explain why in their previous presentation, they are then decreasing, capacitating some of the treatment centers. And I'll read it for you. The targets are moving from capacitating 5 public treatment centers to only capacitating 3. And then another one goes from capacitating 5 provincial substance abuse forums and 3 clusters of the national department, and changing that to 6 provinces. So if the money is not being affected and the funds aren't being affected, why then is the amount of programs and capacity being affected? So if we can just keep that in mind. And then a suggestion, if possible, there are only 6 targets that are being deleted. And when I was reading the report, and maybe when other people who are not necessarily on this portfolio are reading the report, I think it would be beneficial for everybody to actually see which targets have been deleted. And that way they know these targets have been deleted, and this is the sacrifice we are now making and taking in order to address COVID-19. So that's a suggestion I'd like to make, that we actually put in the deleted targets, and that it doesn't just come up in the comment section and the suggestions section in which we raised. And then lastly, one comment that I'd like to be placed in the report that's not there at the moment is the fact that we are then doing less of the anti-fraud targets, and that's being deleted. And I mean, especially in SASSA, I note on page 8, they make a comment of that they're going to conduct 15 instead of 20 internal audit reviews in high-risk areas. And I mean, SASSA, we have such a big problem, a historical problem of fraud at SASSA, and now we're taking that away, or we're doing less of it. And I just want that to be mentioned in the report. And then lastly, the NDA doesn't list from where they reprioritize in their funds. And I think it will be beneficial for everyone reading the report to actually see where the NDA are reprioritizing the funds from. So I think that's just all my comments.
Wonderful, wonderful. Honorable Aris.
Good morning, Chair. Goedemorgen, Chair. Hoe gaan dit? Chair, kan je mij horen?
Hoe gaan dit met je?
Goed, Chair. Is gezond en dat is het belangrijkste. Thank you very much, Chairperson. The failure of SASSA to manage the SRD it's clear that they don't have the capacity, and nowhere in this budget you will see they will even mention that additional vacancies will be filled or additional posts will be created in order for them to move with speed with this SRD applications. And we also think that the system are not effective enough, and they are not able to manage this SRDs. And then in terms of the gender-based violence, Chair, there is no clear plan to dismantle gender-based violence. And we have seen that there's no funds to dismantle these gender-based violence. Then within the budget, we also noted that there's only 1,809 social workers and 520 volunteers from the NDA. That's the only jobs within this whole budget that we can see that is being created out of this budget. And then in terms of the top-up grant, it is worrisome that the top-up grants will only be till October. Why can't this grant not be permanent? because what will happen after October, people will still be in need for this top up. It is also worrying because we did see in last week's meeting, they say they want to bring in the unemployment grant. However, if they don't have sufficient monies just to sustain these top-up grants, how will they do the big grant? So that means that this budget will never be sufficient if we look at in terms of the unemployment grant, and therefore we cannot adopt this budget, the EFF. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Aris. Honorable Stock.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Let me also add my voice to some of my colleagues who already spoke before me in welcoming you back and appreciating the manner in which how you have dealt with the pandemic and so forth. We sincerely welcome you back, and we appreciate that some of the lessons that we have actually learned to deal with this thing. You must be able to share with us. We have not yet tested positive. We don't know. We might be carrying the virus as things stands, Honorable Gungubele. So we'll appreciate that moment. Share some of the lessons that we have learned. Yeah. And then secondly, honorable members, I think let me also appreciate the comprehensive report which was presented to us. I also had an opportunity to go through the report. I went through the entire report, and I fully agree with the report, but I also want to add, I think, 2 issues which I want to add to the collective. It's about the 350 SRD grant. I think at some point, honorable members, we need to have a space where we are going to engage entirely on the challenges that the systems is facing, and then also to be given an opportunity just to give an update as to where are we in terms of the 350 SRD grant. And I'm raising that thing here today, honorable members, because some of the issues that I pick up in my constituency, they have to deal with this thing. We're confronted by long queues. People have applied, they've been approved, they've not even yet given or received their first payment. Others have received one, they've never received anything again. So I think it's an issue that we need to bring to the attention of SASSA at some point, so that they come and then they share a comprehensive briefing with all of us as to what is happening and where we can take all those issues. Because it does not help for me when we pick up those issues and then we send them to the department, but nobody comes back to us and say, this is how we have dealt with these issues moving forward. And then the last issue, Honorable Chairperson, which I also want to raise to the Portfolio Committee, it's in relation to the issues of GBV and then in relation to the National Strategic Plan, which was adopted, and then the 6 key pillars of the GBV. I think there's work already that has been done in the different portfolio committees. Like for an example, there's legislation that has been championed by Department of Justice Correctional Services. Like for an example, the cyber crimes and the children's amendment bill also, which has been done by the Social Development Portfolio Committee. And then there's also the Department of Health, there's the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities. So I think the problem that confronts us at the moment is that there's a lot of work that has been done by different departments, but that work is not being consolidated into one approach so that we can, or we are able to appreciate exactly what is happening in terms of the sketch of GBV and all of that. I think the legislation, honorable members, what I've actually perused from the report of justice, it's actually at an advanced stage. The bill went to the NCOPs back now in the NA Portfolio Committee. So we will be able at some point, maybe as a Portfolio Committee, also be updated by the department as to where do we stand in terms of GBV issues. Where are we? What is happening and how do we take the struggles of women forward? Honorable Chairperson, without the waste of any time, let me also appreciate the introduction of the National Drug Master Plan, which is also a very serious issue, which contributes in a nutshell also to the issues of GBV and all of that. So I appreciate the fact that the minister has launched it and the department has launched it, and then There's also so much work that is being done. And then lastly, Honorable Chair, the issue of the basic income grant. The President addressed the nation on Sunday, and then on Monday, in the press conference, I had the Minister taking us through about the possible introduction of the basic income grant. So as a portfolio committee, I would also appeal again and put it to the collective that maybe at some point, the Minister must also take the portfolio committee into confidence as to what is happening, how far are they, and then what is the approach that they are taking forward. That's my contribution, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Stock. Honorable Kate.
Chairperson, welcome back.
Amanda.
Yes. Hey, Chairperson. Hello.
The connection COVID of Limpopo is.
Maybe you are the one causing it. I don't know, because you married this side. You don't want to talk to your in-laws. Chair, the issue I want to raise is the one of the post office. You know, mostly on the first day of grant payment, you find that the grannies will be staying there for a long time, if not for the whole day. And when I check with the regional offices around here, they are saying post offices are not reporting to them. I don't know whether the department is having a plan as to how the post offices are going to be monitored by the district office. Because really it's so painful to see the grannies staying there from 7 a.m. until very late waiting for the grant. I think something needs to be done concerning that. The second one, Chair, is the issue of filling of vacant posts. I think DSD as a whole has got a problem as far as filling of vacant posts is concerned. And I don't know whether they do have a plan as to how are they going to do that. Because it's not for the first time. It's not for this financial year, but it's long. It's a long-standing issue. So I think they need to come up with a plan to say as to how are they going to fill those critical posts. The issue of social workers. I think there are social workers that are temporarily hired. So when is the department going to hire those social workers permanently? So because some of those that are there for now, they are only there to cater this for COVID-19. But there is a challenge in the department. The last one, Chair, is the issue of NSP. The National Strategic Plan, when you check, pillar number 5 is the economic power. So I just want to check from the department as to how are they going to empower women concerning that one, more especially taking into consideration the issue of women, youth, and people living with a disability. How is the department going to empower women? Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Bilangulu. Honorable Seka.
Good afternoon, Chair. Firstly, I am very grateful to see you, Chair. I have sent you a message as well to say that we are missing you. We are missing you. We are very, very grateful to have you with us. Very grateful. I want to just provide input in terms of two things, Chair, which is the one has to do with the fact that we emphasized around service providers to the department, that the department need to provide us with a list of those service providers. I think it needs to be mentioned in the report from an expenditure and governance and accountability perspective. And the reason why we're bringing this up, Chair, is we have over the course of this quarter emphasized with SASSA and with the department the importance of the department rectifying in the mind of South Africans to build trust again with the South African public. And in light of this amount of money that is being given specifically for the alleviation of poverty, I would really suggest and ask that as part of our report will also be emphasized, that this committee has made that not a recommendation, but I think as requested from the department, that in all their efforts, the efficacy of the department needs to be paramount in order to change the perspective of South Africans of the Department of Social Development. And also in terms of the list of those service providers, we need a list of those service providers, Chair, and what those service providers had to do. We asked actually from a national and a provincial perspective, a list because of the amount of money that is being wasted when it comes to service providers. And like my previous colleague has said, that Honorable Stock, we're sitting with a problem just this morning where people are telling us they didn't even get food parcels, Chair. I mean, we are now 4 months into this lockdown. These are people that we put on the database of the department for food relief. They have not received it in 4 months. So what Honorable Stock has spoken of and Honorable van der Merwe is very important. One, that the department need to come back to people that has made application, whether it be for food relief or for social relief, that there needs to be a process in place. And secondly, that the department has some idea of who is it that they have money towards for the distribution of food relief. And who are those service providers, so that we as this parliament, like you said in the beginning of this term, will not only hold the department to account, but every person who uses South African money. We must be adamant on that. Then also just in terms of the programs that has been affected, this is my last comment, Chair. It is the gang program of the department. We did ask the department, with the impact that they will come back to us in terms of gender-based violence and the social victim program of the department, and part of that is also the gang violence in the Western Cape specifically now. That's all that I wanted to add, Chair.
Please unmute yourself.
Chairperson? Can you unmute yourself, Chair, please? We can't hear you.
I'm unmuted now. I'm saying Honorable Ngwenya.
Okay. So sorry, Chairperson, just for interruption. Mama Mvana is struggling to join in, but she wanted to make some input as the last person. Mama Mvana.
Thank you very much, Chair. It is good to see you back. We've been praying for your recovery.
Thank you very much.
Well, most points Commissar Aries has covered me, but my main interest and my main concern is GBVF, on the fact that it looks like it is not given the priority it deserves within the department, and the fact that it is not even included in the revised budget, it is a very serious concern for us. And also on the issue basic income grant, which has been over 20 years long overdue, it was a hope, because in the last report, in the program number 3, I think, it was just mentioned that they are still in the process of discussing the feasibility of having the basic income grant implemented. We welcome very much the announcement of Umamzulu that they are looking into it, and we are hoping that it will be done in our lifetime because it has taken so long. And we are hoping that it will also continue immediately because the one that we are going through now is up to October, so there will not be a break. That's what we are hoping for. Chairperson, food parcels, food vouchers, it is so quiet. As whether the department has stopped issuing vouchers, food vouchers and parcels, nothing has been said on that. We don't really know. Even when the public asks us, we look very stupid because we don't have answers for them. Because as it stands, everyone is saying that they haven't received anything in the last month or two. So that is a very serious concern because the pandemic is still going on and people are still going hungry. So what is happening exactly in terms of that? And I think my colleagues have covered me very well in most of the points. So Dizawupelela Apo, Chairperson, and welcome back. Thank you very much.
I'm saying thank you, Honorable Ngwenya. I'm not sure if you know as a letters of Dal.
Thank you very much, Chair. Nikuamkela mshishimeki. Abe babdinle bya wena le biri ka byo. Se ba ku byerile ku ri ta. You can see. Eta byela ku ri bifamba. Thank you very much, Chair. My colleague have said a lot for what I wanted to say, but I wanted to comment on this issue of SRDs. I don't think it have been captured well in this report. I have browsed through the report. I've seen it, but I don't think last time I even raised it. I don't think the SASSA will get rid of it because where I am, I attended the meeting yesterday with the community development workers, those who were roped in by Premier to go and assist at SASSA. But when we arrived there, the other question that I raised before to ask, where are these volunteers that they talk about? There is no volunteers, so the CDW have gone, they're on strike. They said they can't assist the SASSA because SASSA have volunteers. They gave those volunteers 1.5. Why they don't go and call them to come and do the work? So I don't think this issue, I agree with those members that says really must have time with the department to check what is going on, so that people shouldn't go and make a queue every time. I raised this, that people at the rural, you can't assist all of them with your phone. one phone. There are so many. And then there is no one who's assisting them, as there is no one at the department. And lastly, Chair, the issue that I feel sometimes I'm like Honorable Ngwenya, I don't know how to answer people, because I reported that there is a settlement that everybody is not willing to assist those informal settlement. They are just around the mines. No one wanted to assist them. We know abos phuma phaya ekhaya ukuthi sometimes siyasuka emakhaya sithi sizofuna umsebenzi singawutholi sihlale lapho sithi mhlawumbe sizawuthola one day, and then people are suffering. Really, the issue of food parcel, I think if we are still alive after this COVID, we must make sure that we must come with another creative issue that will assist our people who are not working. So I just want to emphasize those issues, because mostly I'm well covered, and then I think the report said it well what we have said. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Manganye. It appears, honorable members, the report is not being contradicted except some enhancement here and there. But what comes out very clearly is that the issue of SASSA challenges, systems, SRD, where exactly things are, be it the 350 applications. The department needs to, as a matter of urgency, to engage us again so that we can freshen our minds where things are now. This is what's strongly coming out of the committee. There's not yet some happiness in that area. It's very, very clear. Of course, the issue of income grant, generally it appears to me it's a matter that is supported, but the challenge is to analyze, probably investigate its implementability, if you take into account the state of the economy as we speak now. Again, the issue that we wrote a letter to communication subcommittee, to communication portfolio committee on post office, Yoli and Lindy. It's a matter that we need to follow up. Remember, we wanted a joint portfolio committee meeting to actually be clarified on this matter. It's a matter that we must urgently follow up. General members are expressing concern around the issue of vacant posts and the capacity of the department, especially as it deals to the welfare issues that are affecting people from day to day, be they social, psychosocial, and family preservation, and so on. And members, there's general concern about the lack of prominence of the GBVF with regard to resource allocation. Well, probably where there is not additional resource, maybe a comforting intensified program, both from the point of special focus and probably coordinating as many other departments towards the same goal as possible. Of course, the food parcels, in as far as I'm concerned, is an issue that falls under SASSA and others. So I thought it was important to raise those are the issues that the committee has strongly expressed concerns about. But having said all that, the report, honorable members, is before us, in table for adoption.
Sorry, Chair, can I just have an input?
You are entitled.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, members, I was just noting your inputs, and most of them are for when we write minutes to write them because they are mainly the resolutions that the department must come and explain certain things. So I agree with the chairperson. When it comes to inputs that I think I need to amend the report on, one, in terms of the GBV, just to start with that one, chairperson, an input from Honorable Stock about, or some another member, about the NSP. Maybe on that target where, not target, recommendation, that the department should set clear targets on GBV, then I should specify that the targets should speak to the implementation of the NSP, National Strategic Plan. So I just add that line on that one, Chairperson.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, Chair. So that I'm going to make as an amendment on that recommendation, just to be specific, Chairperson. Okay, and then the concerns over the food parcels, Mamungwenya, I just went quickly to a response from the department, those responses that they gave us. There is a page where they address what is the status of food parcels. Maybe you're not satisfied with that response, but I just wanted to alert you that there is a response from the department with regard to that. There's also another response with regard to the GBV targets that they gave us, members. But as I said, we need specific targets. So that one, it will remain as it is in the report. Anti-fraud targets reduced. One member said maybe that needs to go into an observation with regard to SASSA, because SASSA is a problem with corruption, fraud and corruption. So I'll look at that and formulate it as an observation. Okay, the list of service providers on food distribution. I think, Honorable Sickles, I'll have a chat with you so that you can assist me on these 2 points that you made. I didn't really follow them, but I don't want to delay the committee because you've registered them in the meeting. I'll just call you on the side so that you can assist me how to draft them. What happened to the target to reduce on surplus abuse? Okay, that will be part of the resolution. Another input was to include targets that were deleted. That's not a problem. I'll go back to the report and list those targets. The SAS does not include targets on the filling of posts. Okay, I can make that as an observation, ma'am, because it is captured under recommendations that should be done. Oh, it is in the observation. I just make it as a recommendation because observation did say that SASSA still has a lot of vacancies at critical posts, the department. So I'll make that, members, as a recommendation that this must be done, filling up of the vacant posts. Okay, the issue of the basic income grant has been covered. The hiring of temporary social workers, it is captured in the recommendations. Challenges on SRD, chairperson has covered that. Okay, and then I will include the recommendation on the SRD grant review mechanism, that the minister should ensure that SASSA and the department strengthen their follow-up and review processes. And the issue on the food parcels versus the vouchers, that the minister must make sure that SASSA and the department speed up the process to shift from food parcels to vouchers. So I'll note that as a recommendation. The department to develop a detailed plan on how it will absorb social workers. Okay, I've already spoken to that. So chairperson, those are the things that I've managed to capture as members were raising them. I'll make the necessary changes, and some of the things will go to the minutes as resolutions. Thank you, Chair.
Those are, honorable members, those are the issues that are an expression of your addition and augmentation. With those additions and augmentations, I table the report for adoption.
Chairperson.
Hello?
Chairperson.
Chairperson. Honorable Abraham, Chairperson.
Honorable Bill.
Honorable van der Merwe.
Yes, Chairperson. I didn't hear the issue of pillar number 5 as to how are they going to to implement it.
Pillar number 5 being?
Yes, economic empowerment of women. I never heard anything about it.
Is it not falling under NTA?
Can I respond, Chair?
All right, right. There's another
Yes,
member.
ma'am, because it's part of the NSP said,
wait,
so
wait,
that's
wait,
why.
Yoli,
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, Chair.
Wait, Yoli. I thought there was another member who wanted to speak.
Abrams,
Okay.
person.
Proceed. Proceed, Yoli.
Oh, okay, Chair. I was just saying, Chairperson, the input from Honorable Bulankulu. It's part of the NSP, isn't it, ma'am? So my recommendation or suggestion was that where we had recommended that the department must set clear targets on GBV.
Yes.
Include the implementation of the NSP.
No, it's okay. Yeah, that's correct. Honorable members, can I
Chairperson,
report?
so Abrams, Honorable Chairperson, Abrams, Alexander Abrams, just one point.
Yeah.
I did not hear any speak about the funding for substance abuse. Yolisa was going to remove the line.
Yes.
Funding for?
Still going to remove that line, or is she going to keep the line in with regards to funding? And then just a comment.
What was your comment?
So Yolisa in the beginning said that the substance abuse funding allocation hasn't changed. So she was going to remove that line from the report. However, I indicated that if the funding hasn't changed, why are the targets being decreased? So that must still be answered. If we are going to remove that, why are the targets being
No, I hear what you're saying, Honorable Abrams, but if it's a matter of fact, the budget has not been cut. That's a fact, that's not an opinion. That is a different question that you are raising, which can be posed to the department for the department to respond. But for the purpose of this fact, it would be wrong to put it that way if the department says there's been no cut, because that's a factual response. But your question remains relevant to be posed to the department so that when they come, they clarify it. Can we leave it that way?
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Thank you very much. Can we table the report, honorable members, with those augmentations and additions for adoption?
Chairperson.
Yes, honorable member.
Yeah, Chairperson, I think we will be happy if the report is adopted with the amendments. And then just on a general note, I wanted to say, Chairperson, when you were not here last week, we had requested the department to answer some questions in written form. And I just want to tell Lynnie that even though they sent you that list of the questions, there are some questions that are outstanding, which they didn't answer. So if you look at the list of questions and the answers, they don't match. For example, they didn't answer about the amount of money they're spending on legal cases, and they didn't give us a breakdown of where they're deploying the social workers, under which directorates, in which provinces, in which wards. So we just need to ask them to follow up on that. But we're happy with the report. Thank you, Chairperson, with the amendments. And
thank you, Honorable Liz. Any second that one?
Chairperson.
Honorable member.
It's Honorable Ngwenya.
Yes, Honorable.
Can it be noted before the secondment that the EFF is not adopting the budget?
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Any second?
Chairperson, Honorable Bilankulu here, I'm seconding it.
Thank you, Honorable Bilankulu.
Chairperson, I'm reserving.
Honorable member, who wants to speak now?
I said I stand with the report, but I'm reserving in terms of acceptance of the budget, Chairperson.
Which is a different issue. The budget and the report are two different things.
Oh, then I've heard wrong. I heard somebody say budget here, so that's why I said something. Okay.
No. What I'm saying, we are tabling a revised budget report. maybe I've also created confusion myself. It's a revised budget report. So it's incomplete when I articulate it in that fashion. So what is your position there for Honorable Sege?
No, I stand with I stand as well with the amendments. We accept the report.
Thank you. Honorable members, it appears that the ayes have it, so the report is adopted. We note the comments by EFF. That item, as far as I'm concerned, is over and done with, and I must thank the members as always, handling themselves with the discipline that you usually do. Now we proceed to the minutes, honorable members. Any comments on the minutes? You know, we used to have can they be flighted? Ms. Nsabo? I don't know what I could call that page one, because I don't know what page is it. What was on the screen? Do members have any comment? Hello?
Chair, I don't know if Lindy did rectify it because I don't see my name in the minutes.
That were you reported as absent or present?
Which date, ma'am? Which date? Okay, I'll rectify that. Attendance.
Okay.
Attendance.
Honorable members, the minutes are before you.
Question, Chair.
Proceed. Hello?
Can I ask a question?
Please do.
Do we go per? Are we going through page by page now, or
Per what?
are we...
I'm very careful, Honorable Mwanya. Per what is on the screen?
Okay.
Whatever name you attach to that.
Because we do not, I did not see the date of the minutes on the screen. So
11.
Oh, okay. Okay then. Okay, thanks, Linz.
Can you take the minutes? There's the date, 11 March. Proceed. Go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay. Honorable members, there we are now. Wait. There we are. Wait. Go a little bit back. A little bit back. Honorable members, any comments there? Proceed. Move the slide again. Wait. Hey, no, man, not with that speed, you know. We'll take you to athletics to run if you want to. Next slide. 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 Proceed. Wait. Slightly bit backward. Go reverse a bit. It's okay. Honorable members, there we are. Proceed. Again, next slide. Wait. Going, gone. Next. Proceed. Okay, honorable members. There we are. Proceed. Yes, honorable members, 7, 8, and 9 paragraph up to 10. Going, gone. Next. Proceed. Hey, where is Lindy? Okay. Do you agree that Gungubelo was part of the meeting on the 11th of March?
Yes, Chair.
Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
Honorable members, I table minutes for adoption. Minutes is not an opinion, it's records of what happened. So this is not an ideological exercise.
Chairperson,
Yes.
I move for the adoption of the minutes of the 11th of March 2020.
That is Honorable Member.
Bilankulu.
Thanks, Honorable Bilankulu. Any seconder?
I'm second.
Honorable Ngwenya seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Ngwenya. At least there's something EFF is seconding.
Chair, you know now.
My apology. I have withdrawn that. I've withdrawn.
So, Chairperson, Chairperson.
Thank you very much.
Chairperson.
I have withdrawn. Right? Yeah, thank you very much. So, members, minutes are adopted. Thank you very much. With the powers vested in me, can I express my gratitude and declare the meeting closed? Thank you very much.
Chairperson, it's not only it's not only this set of minutes. There are a couple of set of minutes.
Bunch of minutes, Chairperson.
Oh,
yeah, there are
not the only one.
7 of them.
7.
It's not the only one.
7.
Yeah.
7.
Or you can have another
copies.
strategy. Yes, Chairperson.
That's why I was
7
asking
copies.
if we are
The
going
strategy.
page.
Yes.
Tell me the dates. No, Lindy, tell me the dates.
Chairperson. Okay, Chairperson. The other set is
March,
17 March.
17 March.
13 May.
Wait, 11 March.
17 March.
11
March.
17 March.
13 April. Your 13 May.
13 May.
21 May.
21 May.
4th June.
4th June.
11 June.
11 June.
And 25th of June, the last set.
25th of June.
Yes, Chairperson.
I thought we said that would never happen again. How did it happen that we adopt so many minutes?
Yes.
We had such the program was very hectic. The program, Chairperson, was very hectic, and we're just allocated 2 hours.
No, we shouldn't do this. Shall I assume that these minutes have been circulated to all the members?
Yes.
Yes, Chair, Friday last week.
Minutes of the 11th have been adopted. Can we go to the minutes of the 17 members have read them? 17 March?
The ones of 13th May.
17, why it's 17? 17? We're dealing with the 17 March.
Oh, okay.
Can I say that they are
We
adopted?
move for the adoption. Yes.
13 May.
13 May, Chair, just a change of grammar.
Well, we can do that. Explain what area of grammar.
On number 5, the second paragraph. It reads.
What paragraph? What grammar do you change?
Yes, Chair, I'm reading. Ms. Vilakazi and Ms. Nxumalo then took the committee. I think there should be the committee through the presentation.
Oh, okay.
To outline the action plan going forward.
Thank you very much. Any adoption of the minutes of the 13th of May? Honorable members?
Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
I would like to adopt the minutes, Bridget.
Thank you. That's Bridget. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, you, Chair. I'm sorry I joined the meeting.
You did arrive. Okay,
yes.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, Chair.
Thank you very much. 21 May, honorable members.
We are fine.
Sorry to interrupt, Chairperson. On the minutes of the 17th, Honorable Bilankulu moved for adoption, but there was no seconder. And then the same one on this, on the 13th, Honorable Masango moved, and then
No,
would like
they
a
were
seconder.
adopted. You were supposed to have listened. All of them were seconded. Lily.
I will second both, Honourable
Okay.
Panamarva.
You want us to
Okay.
go back to the 17th?
No, it's fine.
Honorable Bilangulu adopted. Who was the seconder?
There wasn't.
17th. There was.
I will second.
Yes.
Panamarva is seconding now.
Yes, there was a seconder. There were more than one, I can tell you. On 13 May, any proposal for adoption?
Masango, Chairperson.
Chairperson,
Masango, any seconder?
Panamarva, Chair.
Thank you very much.
I'll second.
21 May.
Yes, I will second.
Thank you very much. Honorable 21 May.
Chair, I move for the adoption.
That's Honorable Kate
Lipompo.
Limpopo. Yeah. Any seconder?
Seconding.
21 May. Who is
Seconded.
Honorable
Northwest
Mangai.
is seconding.
I want us. Honorable.
Okay, honorable members, 4th June. Any proposal for adoption?
I would like to propose
Members are
adoption, Chair.
That is Honorable Masango.
Masango, yes, Chair.
Okay, any seconder?
I'm seconding her.
Is that Honorable Mvana?
It's like Mvana, but
Who's
it's
speaking now?
Bilankul. It's Bilankul.
Thank you, Honorable Bilangolo. 11 June.
Chairperson.
Is there no Kimberly in this meeting?
Chairperson. Chair.
Who is
please note-
speaking now?
Honorable Aris, please note that I was present in that meeting.
You are proposing adoption.
No, I don't propose adoption. I was present at that meeting. It is not recorded that I'm present.
Or you are raising your concern.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we adopt the minutes with that amendment? Any proposal? Can you then arrest, now that your name has been sorted? Anyone adopting the minutes of the June 11?
Chairperson.
Honorable
Chairperson,
Kate?
let me adopt all this.
No.
Let's
Let's deal with it. Let's
It's
deal
like
with
they
the
don't
11th
want
June,
to.
Honorable Bilangolo. Any seconder? Any seconder?
I second, Chair, Bridget.
Thank Honorable. The last one, 25 June, I tabled them for adoption.
Move for the adoption.
Chair, before we
Who
move
is
for
moving them?
adoption, Chairperson.
Who?
Mangai.
Chairperson,
Yes.
please
Mangai.
help me. Chairperson,
Honorable
Honorable
Mangai,
Aris
Yes.
was present in that meeting. Chair.
But you don't want to adopt minutes. Honorable
Chairperson,
Aris.
please.
That's correct.
No, there is on the 25th as well. They must correct it.
But you don't want to adopt them.
No, I said you must correct it. You cannot adopt before you correct it. Correct it.
Okay.
Raise your
Consider
hands and
them-
correct.
All right,
We
can-
said
can
we-
Can anyone propose for the adoption of the 25th of June, honorable members?
I move for the adoption, Chairperson.
Thanks, honorable Fanameva. Any
With the
seconder?
corrections.
Yes. Any seconder?
And I second, Chair, it's Bridget.
Thanks, honorable Masango. Yo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yo, I've never seen this. We must never do this, Lindy, again. It's just wrong. Thank you very much, honorable member, for that cooperation. Anything left, Ms. Tabo?
No, Chairperson. That was the
Ntsako.
last. No, Chairperson. That was the last agenda item for the day.
Thank you very much. It was a very onerous one. Honorable member, with the power vested in me after COVID, can I declare the meeting closed? Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. So quick.
Chairperson.
Thank you
so much.
Chairperson.
Bye-bye.
Didi Viva.
Bye.
Hey, Chair.
Thank you very much.
You must share with us the experience, man.
I will. Next meeting.
Yeah.
That is what I started.
Okay.
Next meeting. My
Okay.
remarks, I start there.
All right.
Okay. It's not a festival. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But you seem to be so strong.
No,
You
I have
can
to.
still
Thank you
buy.
very much, Honorable Member. Thank you.
Mama Jane.
Thanks.
Hello, guys.
Ay, mi wisa kahle.
Hey, Nikona man.
Nikona shem.
Anchuise ngunguvele shem.
Hayi, mingachuhi xikwembu xi kona.
Ani na mina vuvabyi lebyi na mina na byi chuha ngopfu. Hey.
Hayi, movhe mi ti byela ku leswi nga pfuna ngunguvela na n'wina swi ta mi pfuna.
Na swi lava swa Xixhosa.
Amen. Yeah.
Member Eris.
Okay, bye-bye.
Member Eris. Member Eris. Is she left? Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetie. Bye. Member Eris. Semkin.
Malindi, hayi kodwa sana uyafana nami yazi.
Yeah.
Nxa ngisidonga ngibone wena. Xa ngibona wena. Khona namhlanje ngale short hair.
Ndiqonde you ancinci beyiwiki sana mandisheke ndinje.
Awusemfana. I love you natural namhlanje.
Love you too, sabo sam.
Okay, ke sana.
Okay, ke my love. Mandivale ke nansi meeting. Sharp sis. Sure.